Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause as we welcome the adjudicating panel of the grand finals of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups English Public Speaking Contest 2024. Sitting on our adjudicating panel today are Head Adjudicator, Mr. C.M. Chan, President of the Law Society of Hong Kong. In our panel, Mrs. Margaret Leung, Chairperson of the English-Speaking Union Hong Kong. Ms. Jennifer Ma, Council Member of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups. Dr. Zhou Lai, Director, English Language Teaching Unit, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Ms. Emily Zhang, Editor, Young Post, South China Morning Post. And of course, our question master, Ms. Andrea Hells, Director, English, British Council, Hong Kong. Also, today we have Mr. William Chung, Deputy Executive Director of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, and Ms. Ada Chow, Director of the HKFYG Leadership Institute, here with us. Meanwhile, we'd like to thank all adjudicators, question masters, principals, teachers, parents, and students for coming all the way. I know that it's pretty early here and might be a bit far for some of you, but thank you so much for making it today. Although the new contest feature, Best Progress Award, will be announced later this month, we know that quite some of you are ready to be learning here today. Today is definitely not a finale, but a continuous journey. This year, we are happy to co-organize the contest again with the English-Speaking Union Hong Kong, along with our 11 supporting organizations: British Council Hong Kong, Center for Language Education, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, Department of English and Communication, the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Department of English Language and Literature, Hong Kong Baptist University, English Language Teaching Unit, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, Federation of Hong Kong Industries, Standing Committee on Language Education and Research, the Chinese General Chamber of Commerce, Hong Kong, the Chinese Manufacturers Association, Hong Kong, the Hong Kong General Chamber of Commerce, the Law Society of Hong Kong. Please give a big round of applause to thank them and yourselves for the time and effort this early Saturday morning. Good morning, everyone. I am Annette, and I am very happy to be your MC today. I'm from the 2014 batch of the EPS Grand Finalists, and today I'm a dentist. Today I am so happy to be standing on the same old stage, looking at these familiar faces, just like I did once upon a time. We'll be having some really top quality speeches from our fresh band of speakers today, and I'm sure that we all will be learning a lot today. Now, let me briefly talk about the format of today's contest. We will first start with the junior division, followed by the senior division. The format of both categories will be the same. Each finalist has already been given a guiding question, and they will each be making a 3-minute speech in response. Timekeeping will start within 5 seconds after the finalist has got into a position to begin their speech. Our timekeeper will raise a start sign and ring the bell once at the same time, after which the finalist may begin the speech. Time signals will be showed to indicate the remaining time at both 1 minute and 30 seconds, respectively. No audible signal will be given at this time. At the time of 3 minutes, the timekeeper will ring the bell twice, and the finalist must immediately stop their speech. No grace period is allowed. Each finalist will then be asked 2 questions on spot by our question master, Ms. Andrea Hells, one related to the speech and one unrelated. Each finalist will then have 1 minute to answer each question. Immediately after the question, a timekeeper will raise the start sign and raise the bell once, and the contestant may start to give their answers. At the time of 30 seconds, a time signal will be shown to show the remaining time. At a time of 1 minute, the timekeeper will ring the bell twice, and the speaker must stop immediately. The adjudicators will rate each performance according to the substance of speech, style and techniques of the speaker, general effectiveness, as well as their response to the questions. In each division, a champion, first runner-up, and second runner-up will be chosen, and 2 merit awards will be given out at the award ceremony later this morning. Before we invite our first finalist on the stage, we would like to remind you once again to put your phones on silent mode. Please also note that flash photography is not allowed. Without further ado, let's begin the contest with the junior division. The guiding question for the junior division is, Oscar Wilde once said, "The best way to make children good is to make them happy." If you had to explain what this meant in a letter to your parents or to Hong Kong, what would you say? First, let us now introduce contestant number 1, Ms. Lam Man Hoon. The title of her speech is Joyful Hearts Lead to Bright Futures. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Does this look familiar to you? Ladies and gentlemen, our parents played peekaboo with us at least once in our lifetime. But did you know that a game of peekaboo may change your life? You may wonder, peekaboo, really? However childish it is, games foster not only family bonds, but also happiness. And I believe that happiness is the key to making children good. To explain, let me share the story of my father. Due to financial situations, he was already helping my grandparents to sell snacks at the age of 8. Though he didn't have much, he did have one thing worth more than anything, the wealth of happiness. Instead of pushing my father to get a high-paid job, my grandparents encouraged him to have faith and follow his passion. That's why he had more motivation and determination. Turns out, my father broke generational poverty and became a successful entrepreneur. Nowadays, many parents may think that happiness is just an icing on a cake, but would you prefer a cake from a chain bakery or a lovingly homemade cake from your mother? I would choose the cake made with affection from the depths of my mom's heart. The same applies to happiness. Joseph Sachs, an expert in child's play therapy, stated that happiness is the most crucial ingredient in a child's moral growth. It's not just a goal, it's the means to achieve your goals. Why? A joyful demeanor cultivates a happy environment, laying the foundation for holistic development for our children. In fact, a famous experiment held by Stanford University back in 1965 already proved the importance of happiness in a child's growth. In the experiment, 2 babies, one born in a happy family, while the other one suffering from emotional neglect, were given toy blocks. The happy baby soon became engaged, making own constructions out of what's available, while the other one was fully aware of their own surroundings and feeling anxious. Which kid would you like our future generation to be? Oscar Wilde said, "The best way to make children good is to make them happy." We have learned the importance of happiness since we have experimented it. We have even experienced it by ourselves through peekaboo. To all parents out there, happiness, the key to a good life, is sown in the youthful gardens of virtue and truth. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Andrea Hales, our question master, will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked, and you will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Andrea Hales, please.
What advice would you give someone who wants to spread happiness in the world?
Thank you for your question. First, Though it is hard for me to pinpoint a definite answer, I believe that if I were to give advice to someone who would love to spread happiness to the world, I would advise them to have kindness. Kindness is very important in a child's growth as well. And it's also, being kind allows us to spread positivity from one to the community and to the world. That's why if I were to give advice to a person, I would give them kindness. But I also were to give them commitment. Commitment in a person is very important. It allows them to step from one obstacle to another and overcome what allows them to prove. That's why if I were to give advice to someone, I would advise them to have kindness and commitment. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Andrea Hales will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. And you will also have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Andrea Hales, please.
Picture a world where schools do not exist. How would you propose we educate our youth in such a scenario?
Thank you for your question. I believe that if schools were not to exist, it would be hard as well. But I believe that if schools were not to exist, I believe that a community of people could help bond and educate the children of tomorrow. For example, allowing them to go to adventures and explore whatever might come through can educate a child's perseverance, commitment, and also many other positive aspects. For example, allowing a child to go to a park and explore and go through the sea and the mud could allow them to explore Mother Nature and learn many more. And I would also advise people that if they were to educate people of tomorrow, they would also allow them to go to other places, such as exploring the world and traveling. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write down their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 2, Ms. Mok K. Tang. The title of her speech is Buy One, Get One Free. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Good morning, everyone. Here are 2 magic bags. One makes children happy, another makes children good. What do Hong Kong people choose? What do you choose? Actually, you can buy one bag to get another free. But most of us in Hong Kong, we tend to interpret good children as well-behaved people, excelling in schools, and all sorts of extracurricular activities. They are good children in good schools. How about happy children in happy schools? They are those who immerse themselves in what they're interested in, such as video gaming or sports. Parents spend a fortune on getting their children into happy schools or good schools. Then which school should Nick Voitage go to? This world-famous motivational speaker, born without arms and legs, used to be ridiculed and bullied by other students at school. He was so depressed that he thought he had no reason to live anymore. One day, his mom showed him a picture of a man without limbs, embracing his physical disabilities. Nick gradually learns to overcome his limitations, radiating happiness from solving problems. Well, are happy children automatically good children? Yes, because good outcomes come from good efforts. Happiness drives us to overcome obstacles, thereby achieving good outcomes. During the COVID-19 pandemic, my dad lost his job. Being an optimistic person, always keeping his goals in mind, he prepared himself for new opportunities all day long for 3 long years. Ultimately, he got a stable work with a high salary. It's a living sample of what Malcolm Manson says. Happiness comes from solving problems. Now, let me ask again. Raise up if you want a bag of happy bag. Hands up for the good bag. Some of you choose the bag of good children. But wait, buy one, get one free applies only when you buy the happy bag first. Parents making themselves living testimonies of happiness and goodness raise happy and good children. Now, let me ask again. Who wants to buy the happy bag? Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked, and you will have 1 minute to respond to this question. Ms. Hells, please.
How can you help make your school a happier place, which might eventually lead everyone to make better choices?
Thank you for your question. So, in my interpretation, I believe that to make a happy school, in order to make students there to make good choices, I believe that the most important thing is to build a problem-solving mind. So, as I mentioned, happiness is the fuel to motivate us to overcome obstacles, right? So, in this happy school, what we need to do is so simple. First of all, we may set different tests or different challenges for students there to solve problems with his positive mindset, and I think everyone will be glad there because of getting a technique of solving problem happily. So I hope that everyone here, you guys can also try this way to solve problems in the near future.
Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will also have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What one experience should everyone have in their lives?
Well, personally, I think the one experience that everyone should have in their life is about problem solving. Take me as an example. Just as I mentioned, my dad, he had a financial problem during the COVID-19, right? So I regarded him as a role model. And during the COVID-19, I was really bad in English. And after seeing he working so hard, it motivates me to read more English books, to listen to many English podcasts in order to improve my English. So, and I'm really glad to be here right now and giving this speech to all of you in English. And I hope that everyone here can also learn from the experience of solving problems in order to get good outcomes in your life in the future.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 3, Mr. Ting Si-woon. The title of his speech is, "Let Us Be Who We Are." You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Dear Mom and Dad, It's 8:23 p.m. I'm sitting alone at the McDonald's near my school. In front of me, a small, cold bag of fries and an existential crisis. I just finished the last dress rehearsal for my school play, and I asked my friends if they could hang out. They each had lessons or training or revision. While my friends are preparing to become contributing members of society, I'm over here eating my rather stale fries. Out the window, I see kids my age dragging their heavy school bags to math tutors with their noses in Chinese textbooks. All those kids have one thing in common. They have no smile on their faces. There's a stereotype that Hong Kongers do what they hate for money and do with that money what they love. That if you end up to be rich and successful, somehow you'll be good. The world around me is immersed in the intransigent idea that there is an unbridgeable dichotomy between being a good member of the workforce and pursuing your passions. But, Mom and Dad, you have proven that notion wrong. I still remember a year ago when I said I wanted to study French instead of Chinese, and how you let me as long as I was able to outline how each language fit into my future. Throughout my life, instead of math or coding, I've been allowed to go from the theater stage to the football pitch to the choir stands, all because you let me. Now, after 4 tough rounds, I stand here in front of a live audience because you value my happiness. In the years that have followed, I've come to realize that being happy has made me good. That theater production or this public speaking competition have both taught me so much. It's taught me how to cooperate with actors on stage, how to lead my juniors in rehearsals, how to persevere despite the many times I have had to rewrite my whole speech. All qualities that I gained from doing what I love, from being happy. Looking back, I am so grateful to have parents like you who understand that Oscar Wilde was right. The best way to make children good is to make them happy. I am so grateful that you wanted me to be a good person, a team player, a humble leader, a loyal friend. So I'm gonna finish this letter and the fries, head back to the theater and help my team prepare for tomorrow's show. And I might even swing by my friend's place for a game of basketball. I may not grow up to be the most successful CEO or the richest entrepreneur, but I do know this. Because you've taught me to be happy, I'm good. And all I want is to pass that on. Sincerely, Antonio. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
Is happiness equivalent to the absence of sadness? Why or why not?
Thank you very much. Happiness and sadness are the 2 biggest feelings that anyone will feel in their entire life. But I think what a lot of people don't realize is that being happy and being sad aren't necessarily opposites. No, I believe that these 2 emotions are actually 2 sides of the same coin. I noticed that the senior division, their prompt is the courage to be happy is to be disliked. And I think in a similar manner, being happy involves having some times where you're down and you're sad. There's an example that someone said if your life, every day in your life was a 10 out of 10 day, technically every day would be a 6 out of 10 day because it's all average and it's all the same. I believe that in a normal, happy life, everyone should have highs and lows, and those lows are essential to appreciate those highs. So I believe that happiness is not equal to the absence of sadness, but rather happiness is the equivalent of being away from those times of sadness that everyone has in their lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What is the most important part of leadership?
Thank you for your question. I think leadership is an essential quality for everyone, especially people like businessmen who want to run companies, or even my teachers who teach my classes. I think the most important part about leadership is listening. As I mentioned in my speech, Parents should listen to their children, and in the same way that leaders should listen to who they are leading. Leaderships and leaders, these people, they have bountiful wisdom, and they're the ones that should be guiding their students, you could say, to a better path. But ultimately, as I mentioned in my speech, just like the idea that parents should give children what they want, leaders should listen to what their disciples, I guess, want, and they should be bringing them to what they want. Leaders, essentially, they should be listening to the needs and the wants of their people, and they should be giving their sound advice and wisdom to guide them towards the path that their people want to go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 4, Ms. Chung Yan Kyu. The title of her speech is Thrive, Not Survive. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
No playdates, no grades lower than A, no class ranking less than number 1. This was how Amy Chua, the notorious tiger mother, raised her children. Sounds scary, right? Parents in Hong Kong are now using similar strategies to raise obedient and academically bright children who will win at the starting line. But at what cost? Children grow up exhausted. They are barely surviving when they should be thriving. Judges, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow survivors, the draconian parenting style is not the best way to raise good children. By making them happy, you can raise better children who are more than just good grades, but also passionate and determined. Today, let's explore the deeper meaning of the quote from Oscar Wilde. As of now, the number of children in Hong Kong who considered suicide increased by almost 50%, according to a survey of over 300,000 school children conducted by the Department of Health. The reasons for pupils' fragile mental state could be attributed to poor sleep quality, high academic pressure, and expectations from parents. Did you know that children spend 11.4 more hours on studying than adults spend on work? What is happening to a society where children are no longer children, but simply numb academic weapons? Here's the good news. This toxic environment for children can be changed. First, improve parent-child relationships. Children feel secure and loved when they have strong and positive family relationships. This can encourage optimism, promote emotional stability, and significantly enhance academic performance. To achieve this, parents can show children trust, praise them for their effort, and be present, like involving them in daily tasks from a young age and showing genuine interest about their day. Another method is increasing more playtime. It enhances communication skills and improves cognitive development and emotional well-being. It encourages boys and girls to join the football team, and a parent describes how her child has gotten more talkative, sociable, and happier after merely 3 months. Can you imagine how much it means to the kids to see their parents cheering on the side when they score? For teenagers, playing may not mean mindlessly scrolling on the phone and playing video games. It can mean having fun with friends and pursuing passion projects. For example, ice skating with my friends and crocheting bee plushies for others make me happier. In years ahead, happy children will grow into healthier and happier adults who can create a better society. So here's what I have to say about this quote. Dear Hong Kong, let your children know not just how to survive, but how to thrive. Yours faithfully, Claudia.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What does doing good mean to you?
Thank you for your question. What does doing good mean to me? For a lot of people and parents, good can have many different definitions. From very long time ago to now, the definition of good and children has changed a lot. But for me, being good means being kind, having empathy, and having gratitude. To be kind, you have to help other people and to contribute back to the society, and to have empathy, to be able to understand the peers around you, and most importantly, be grateful to things that other people help you do. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask you a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will also have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
If you could invite anyone to have dinner with, who would you choose and why?
Who would I invite dinner to? So, the one person I would like to invite dinner to and to thank is Ms. Holly Ho. I think she's here, but I can't see her. And I would like to thank her a lot for helping me with my speech. Because even though I wrote my own speech, she's been very helpful. She's encouraged me a lot. And throughout the entire way, she has put in a lot of effort into trying to help me to do my best. And so to thank her, I would invite her to dinner. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write down their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 5, Mr. Lee Muk-yi. The title of his speech is The Gift of Struggle, a Blessing in Disguise. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Ladies and gentlemen, picture this. Date, the 3rd of April. Time, past midnight. Place, my bedroom. And I pen this letter to my parents. Dear Mom and Dad, with a heavy heart, I'd like to share with you the deepest thoughts that have been lodged within me. I've recently pondered the words of Oscar Wilde. The best way to make children good is to make them happy. I can't help but wonder, is this the way you've been raising me? Now, with a pen in hand, I seek a heart-to-heart conversation with you. Wilde's words of wisdom reminded me of the pursuit of happiness in the US Declaration of Independence. This pursuit is not about momentary pleasure or self-indulgence. Rather, it's a lifelong journey of personal growth and character development. I remember in primary 1, I was really struggling with math. But Mom, you created interactive games to help me grasp difficult math concepts. Learning with fun and joy, free from scolding, made me feel secure, encouraged, and empowered. It fostered in me a sense of self-confidence and the belief that I can always be better. However, Wilde's words also evoke a Zen Buddhist saying by the Tang Dynasty monk Huang Bo Xi-yun. The saying goes, without experiencing the bone-chilling cold, how can one enjoy the fragrance of plum blossoms? Mom, I'm grateful you haven't taught me using only Wilde's happy approach. You are both like that Zen guru. You allowed me to go and grow through pain and adversity. I vividly remember the time you forced me to visit an elderly home 3 years ago. You nudged me out of my comfort zone, forcing me to interact with some old geezers. I didn't understand why. You would force me to interact. You would cruelly put me in such an unhappy setting. But as I helped the lonely seniors there, I gradually began to feel the immense joy from helping these time-honored citizens. With this unhappy experience, not only taught me the importance of compassion, but also encouraged me to make a positive impact on others. Mom and Dad, I want you to know that I am now truly happy. Not because you've always shown me a happy, easy path, but because you've been my lighthouse, guiding me through the darkest nights. You've made me understand that the happiness Wild speaks of is intertwined with a good measure of unhappiness. Both your guiding hands and stern words have shaped me into the compassionate and confident person I am today. Thank you for always being there for me. With lots of love, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked, and you will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
Does doing good for others really make you happy? Why?
Thank you for your question. Yes, others doing good definitely makes me happy because, as I've touched on my speech, one of the main things that I value is gratitude and compassion, as I've learned from the voluntary experience. And I think that whenever I see other people doing good, I would think, if I were in their shoes, if I were, the one doing good, would I want others to respect me and to congratulate me, or would I want them to look down on me? Obviously, I would say that I would want everyone else to respect me for what I do and congratulate me. So doing good, seeing other people do good actually makes me happy. So I encourage everyone to be respectful and congratulate others and not be selfish. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
If animals could attend leadership training at the HKFYG Leadership Institute, which animal do you think would succeed best and why?
So if I had to pick an animal, I would definitely choose an elephant because although elephants, have a stereotype of being stubborn, I do think that under an adequate leadership program, they can definitely be good leaders. For example, sometimes, during seasonal changes, they have to migrate to different places, and leadership in these situations is really important because they have to lead their group, lead their family, lead their children to find new land, new pastures, new water, and a new habitat to live in for the rest of the year. So I think that they could be really good leaders under good leadership programs because I know that they definitely value their family and they really want to take care and be a good father or be a good leader for their family. So I think that elephants would be my choice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please take a seat. I personally would want to have a course with an elephant, which takes us back that if you're interested in what leadership courses we offer, please take a look at our Facebook page. All finalists in the junior division have delivered their speeches. Thank you once again for your performance. I find it really inspiring to hear from our children and our young people what they think happiness means, because people always say that happiness in children is purest. But then, with all these educators and parents here, remember, no pressure, because wait till your children become parents. They might give a different speech instead. Before we proceed to the senior division, just a little reminder for all on-site audience. After all grand finalists deliver their speeches, a live voting session will be conducted during break time for the audience favorite award for each division, while our adjudicators decide on the winner during deliberation. The voting process will take approximately 15 minutes, and results for this award, which are determined solely on popular votes, will be released on spot. Without further ado, let's proceed to the senior division. The guiding question for the senior division is, the courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. What do you understand it to be, and how do you think it might apply to you? First, let us now introduce contestant number 1 of the senior division, Ms. Chao Hoi Ching Christine. The title of her speech is The Rainbow Beneath the Rainstorm. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
No one likes a rainstorm. When all it does is makes your socks wet and ruin your entire day. And complaints about the rainstorm that you seem to be becoming forms of punishments, criticisms, and extremely harsh comments, causing us to see ourselves as nothing more than a burden. But when we find the courage, the strength to overcome these complaints, what we see is that beneath every thundering rainstorm is a beautiful, magnificent rainbow that deserves our appreciation. And I found my rainbow the hard way. Back in primary school, I wasn't the most extroverted person, and I had this weird obsession with pleasing others. There was this one girl who I truly admired at first. She had short, silky hair, a slim figure, and exceptional English skills for her young age. She and her friends told me that they didn't really like my vibe and I had to change. So I did. A lot. From listening to Julie Andrews songs to Taylor Swift, from wearing oversized t-shirts with unicorn prints to crop tops and jeans, from reading The Magic Treehouse to a 300 pages long novel that I couldn't even understand, let alone enjoy. And we did get closer. They invited me over for lunch and even to their birthday parties. And though for a long time, I thought I was actually happy, after a very, very long time, a part of me realized that I was lying to myself about my feelings the entire time. Because those girls weren't friends with me. They were friends with a girl who completely changed her life just to be liked by them. But in order to be surrounded by people who appreciate you for who you are, in order to be embraced by true happiness, we must first learn how to love ourselves for the person that we are. Besides, we're not mind readers. We can never know whether somebody likes us or not. But what we can do is to not let those dislikes get to us. If somebody doesn't like your new haircut, you're not going to wear a hat until it grows back, right? If somebody doesn't appreciate you for what you're doing, you're not going to stop, right? Remember, you have a life to live, not a community to impress. And no amount of dislikes should ever stop you from appreciating the rainbow that you truly are. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question has been asked, and you will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
How do you handle peer pressure and the desire to fit in?
This is definitely something that I associate with many times in my lifetime, especially in secondary too. There was this one time where I felt like I was isolated and alienated by all my classmates, and every single recess I would sit by myself, not doing homework or revising, but thinking about whether people like me or not, whether my hairstyle is fitting in. However, as I grew up, I realized that 90% of the time, people don't care about your hairstyle, your revising methods, or anything at all. The most important thing to do is to be your true self. Because if you're not able to be your true self, you will not be able to find someone who loves you for who you are. You will not be able to have true happiness and embrace life for what it is. And the most important thing of all is that peer pressure is something that we cannot control. We never know if somebody likes us or not, as I mentioned in my speech. The most important thing of all is to be your true self at all times, to make you and everyone around you happy.
Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
More and more universities are looking at the social media of prospective students. Do you think something negative posted years ago should determine applications?
No, I definitely do not think so. Because social media is a very diverse platform. People can post anything on there, and sometimes those posts do not really reflect their own professional skills. To go to a university, we have to see their overall and holistic picture. We have to see their performance academically, professionally, as well as personally, and their social well-being. All of these things add up to a well-rounded student, and all of these things are important for the well-being of a student university. I also think that social media, although it's a great way to get information from students, we should not completely use that information for people who go to university. Perhaps social media has information that we can use. For example, if somebody goes to an elderly's house for charity service, then we can use that kind of information to know that those students have the ability to serve the community and do their part as a global citizen. And that is a good quality in a university student. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our judges write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 2, Ms. Mirab Malik. The title of her speech is Having Enemies is Good. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
You have enemies? Good. That means you've stood up for something sometime in your life. This quote by Winston Churchill celebrates the courage required to take a stance even when it is unpopular or controversial. And ladies and gentlemen, this very courage actually leads to long-term happiness, feeling content with ourselves. And to do this, we have to be okay with being disliked because it is something that we can't even control. It is unavoidable. Especially living in an era where we're constantly bombarded with opinions and expectations. And being happy is often influenced by the social approval and the desire to be liked by others. How many times have you constantly found yourself seeking validation from others? It didn't work, right? Because no one can be liked by everyone. And this is why we have to be okay with some people not liking us for the sake of happiness, well-being, and peace. So what if we dared to live life on our own terms? When the whole world had turned against Bella Hadid for speaking about Palestine, she did not care. She stood strong and talked about her opinion. Even though she was sent death threats, her entire family was under danger. She lost contracts, she lost job. She still stood strong. Why? It was because she wanted to be at peace with herself, knowing that she had done the right thing, had spoke the right thing. Now that takes courage. And I'm sure that she's content with herself today. However, embracing this courage is not it's not a call to be arrogant or indifference. It is not a call to disregard others' feelings or opinions. Rather, it is about striking a balance between honoring our own happiness and respecting the rights and opinions of those around us. It is an opportunity to learn from these diverse viewpoints and to grow together. All in all, my friends, the courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. It is a call to free ourselves from the suffocating grip of the societal expectations and to embrace our uniqueness, to pursue our passions unapologetically, and to be proud of who we are, embrace who we are, embrace the courage to be ourselves, even if that means if we will have to birth a group of haters, because that means you had done the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Howells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Howells, please.
In the age of social media, how does the desire for likes and followers impact our happiness?
I think it impacts our happiness quite a lot. I mean, as me, I've actually, whenever I post a new post or whatever, I actually kind of find myself keep on checking the notifications of who's liked it or how many people have liked it. And I think we're constantly in this circumstance where we're always just wanting others to like us. And I think having this thing actually signifies unhappiness in a way. Because again, we cannot be liked by everyone. And when we see that, oh, that particular person had not liked our post, we get sad. We think that, oh, there's something wrong with us. We always blame ourselves, but not think that maybe that person didn't see the post. And I think having the social media present in this day and age really impacts our happiness because we rely on others' approval way too much. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Howells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will also have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Howells, please.
In a phone-penetrated world, how can individuals achieve a healthy work-life balance?
This is something that I struggle with myself. I'm the students' union of my school, so I have a lot of workload to do. And I oftentimes find myself stick to my phone, being addicted to my phone. And having the social media, it's really addicting. The scrolling, the algorithms, it knows you very well. So it always pushes out the things that it knows that they can trap you. So I think by striking a balance is honestly living like how they did in the ancient times, I think. We should go out for walks. We should forget that electronics even exist sometimes. We should go on screen fast. We should put down the phone and just kind of exist and just live. Really, I think this will help strike a balance between our work because we are now so stressed with so much algorithm, so much social media. We're so stressed that we cannot really focus on the work. And I think when we are content with ourselves...
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 3, Mr. Yim Wailun Warren. The title of his speech is The Cost of Conformity. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
My friend Michael was an A student destined for success. But behind the facade was a helpless teen succumbing to the pressure of parental expectations. Sure, Michael got into medical school. However, not only did he never feel fulfilled, he burnt out quickly from pulling multiple all-nighters. Unfortunately, there are many Michaels in Hong Kong. According to the University of Massachusetts, Asian students tend to choose career paths not on interest, but on unconditional parental obedience. We're taught that following others secures a happy future. Does conforming really lead to happiness? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is no, because the cost of conformity
is to act against your purpose, and that is detrimental to your well-being. Yet, the fear of disapproval, especially in Hong Kong, with its pervasive social standards, like how to look, what jobs to choose, and even what to post in social media, drives us to conform. So, what happens if you're no longer afraid of being disliked? Once you have the courage to say no, you open doors to better opportunities. Ancient Chinese poet Tao Tian left a prestigious political career due to its corruption. Despite the risk of upsetting higher up, he chose integrity over conformity and found true happiness that allowed him to write beautiful poems that are still read today. Our heart knows what it wants, but our insecure mind forces us to follow others. As a student myself, I know that standing up and doing what's right may be one of the hardest things to do, like speaking up when seeing injustice. But as the activist Nelson Mandela or Martin Luther King Jr. have proven to you all that when you live according to your own principles, you will truly experience intrinsic happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, like Tao Tian, believe in the gifts that you have and choose the road less traveled. Not only will you find the happiness you deserve, you may even leave behind something valuable for others. So, live your life according to your own principles, your own passion, and your own purpose. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What is more important, principles or popularity?
Thank you for your question. In today's world, it's a race that we chase for popularity a lot, especially in social media, where sometimes we get stalked about our followers. Oh, that guy has 100 followers more than me. But however, we forgot our principles inside of us, like the principles, our moral values get covered by our will to chase for popularity. And so we must find our personal values instead of being covered by these things like popularity, because we live in a world that often principles are being ignored by like chasing the race of popularity, and that's unhealthy for our well-being, as I've mentioned in my speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Thank you. Ms. Hells will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised after the question is asked. You will also have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What is one lesson that the rest of the world can learn from Hong Kong's response to global challenges?
Thank you for a question. I think Hong Kong is a special place, especially in the global perspective, because if you look at Hong Kong people, what they have is that they can, when they face challenges, they have the ability not to be afraid and face the challenges. And you see, many people from other countries are not willing to do so because they are afraid of facing challenges. And our Hong Kong culture is we get used to to meet different challenges, and I think that the world needs to learn from this. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our judges write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 4, Mr. Tam Kai-tun. The title of his speech is To Please or Not to Please, The Path to Happiness. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we near the end of this competition, I must say thank you to HKFYG. Not only has it allowed me to meet so many great people who love public speaking, but weeks of stress has made me lose some weight. Over the weeks, I was anxious that you would not like my speech and that my teachers would feel disappointed. Thanks to HKFYG, the guiding question of today's contest has made me sigh with great relief, inspiring me to embrace my authenticity in pursuit of true happiness. Ladies and gentlemen, why are you here? Are you enjoying the present moment? Are you happy? Last year, the Lingnan University presented a shocking survey finding. The happiness of our teenagers has reached a record low. Yes, a record low. Many of them expressed the concerns that if they don't meet their parents' and teachers' expectations, they will be disliked. I really feel sorry to see so many of us compromise our own happiness only to seek approval from others. How can we help them? Or in a broader sense, how can we regain control over our own happiness? To attain happiness, we need the wisdom from Kishimi and Koga. They encourage us to develop the courage to be disliked. They encourage us to identify our passions and commit to living by them despite people's objection. They encourage us, when facing disapproval, we should show more compassion to ourselves. To prepare for today's contest, while I understand my speech may not touch everyone, since that's what I genuinely believe in, I've got the courage to speak up, and I have almost made it. Regardless of the outcome, I would be proud of myself. This is the kindness that I bestowed upon myself. I'm good, I'm grateful, and I am enough. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my hope that you come here, not because you want to please your friends, but because you genuinely support those who really mean a lot to you. You come here not because you want to seek recognition, but because you believe in the power of using our voices to make a positive impact. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hales will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hales, please.
What does it mean to lead a meaningful life?
Thank you for questions. As I have mentioned, having courage to be disliked is identify our passions and commit to living by them. And I think that having the courage to be disliked is living a life with joy. Because when we have the courage to be disliked, we are passionate about the things we are doing. And we re-examine every decisions that we have made, and we carefully make those decisions. And therefore, we are living a life without regret. And I think that living a life with the courage to be disliked is living a meaningful life. And an examined life is not a life worth living. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hales will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question is asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hales, please.
If every occupation in the world offered the same income and social respect, what profession would you choose to pursue, and what impact do you hope to make in that role?
I think all occupations in the world are worth us to respect, and actually I want to become a teacher because I think nurturing our future pillars for the society is very important. No matter you are doctors or even lawyers, you are taught by teachers at school. And teachers can really make a positive impact to the students. For example, I'm a very timid boy and shy boy, but thanks to Mr. Huang's encouragement, so I'm standing here to join this competition and try to use my voices to make a positive impact. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our judges write their comments. Let us now introduce contestant number 5, Mr. Benjamin Wu.
Go, Suzu. Thank you.
The title of his speech is Choosing Happiness and How to Find the Courage to Do It. You now have 3 minutes. You may begin after the bell rings.
Your brain is an emergency room. Every day, critiques and criticism roll in like patients and check themselves into your system. A classmate teasing your new haircut, your mother telling you to go outside and get some vitamin D for once, or your teacher telling you that you're not living up to your full potential. And as these dislikes that you receive pile up, you might start to wonder, how could anyone be happy when we're surrounded by people who dislike us? Much like an actual emergency room, we can't control which patients are brought in, but what we can do is adopt a triage system to prioritize those that require the most attention. And the same metric applies to the people who dislike us. We can also prioritize those whose criticisms require the most attention. After all, if a stranger dislikes you simply out of spite or contempt, there's not much you can do. So the courage to be happy starts from accepting that their opinion probably doesn't matter. But the opposite is true when it comes to our friends, our family, the people who we love and cherish. They dislike us not out of blind hate, but out of a genuine desire to see us improve. They care for us, and even if it means it's at the expense of expressing their discontent. So in this case, we need the courage to accept their constructive criticism and to apply it to improve ourselves. On my part, I've always found it easier to just block out dislike from others, especially when my mom urges me to start studying. However, while closing my ears might feel liberating, but in the long term, I still need to take responsibility for myself. So, I need to find the courage to prove that I can improve and to choose happiness for myself and the people I love. But other than the people I love, the city I love also receives its fair share of flack as well. There are those that believe that Hong Kong's culture is useless. They're bored by its lifestyle. They complain that the weather is too hot. Okay, the last one might be true. But even within this competition, I see dozens of bright young speakers that stand here year after year, candidly speaking about their dislikes, whether it's the education system or pollution. I'm inspired by those who are able to improve the world by expressing their dislikes. But ultimately, in order to improve ourselves, whether we're a teenager or it's a whole city, we need to have the courage to be disliked. So in a world where dislike seems to have so much power, let's not forget to triage, to distinguish between those that tear us down.
Thank you for your speech. Ms. Hells will now ask you a question related to your speech. The bell will ring once, and the start card will be raised right after the question has been asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hells, please.
What does a happy society look like?
Thank you for your question. We often like to think of utopias, especially in fantasy and sci-fi novels. But sincerely, I believe that the utopias that we see with flying spaceships and everyone living in harmony is quite unrealistic. For myself, I like to be more grounded and grassroots. I believe that my version of utopia is one in which we can all tolerate each other. In a world where problems such as racism and homophobia are so rampant, it's more important for us to focus on loving our fellow man rather than trying to build flying spaceships. So I believe we shouldn't look towards technology, we should look towards each other, towards humanity, and learn to love each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Hales will now ask a second question that is not related to your speech. Again, the bell will ring once and the start card will be raised right after the question is asked. You will have 1 minute to respond to the question. Ms. Hales, please.
What is one change you would like to see in Hong Kong that would positively impact high school students' well-being?
Thank you for your speech. As both the junior and senior speakers have already talked about, Hong Kong students face a lot of academic pressure, both from schools and their own parents. And so I believe having mental wellness programs that allows students and children to be able to explore their own feelings and express themselves can help them further develop in the world and enrich their own selves as human beings. I believe the ability to express our emotions freely is paramount in our modern society. And in order to improve this, we need to have programs that are we need to have comprehensive programs that can reach out to children of all age groups, to children of all environments and backgrounds. Thank you.
Thank you. Please take a seat. Please remain silent while our adjudicators write their comments. All finalists in the senior division have given their speeches. Thank you so much for sharing with us the courage of being disliked. And I'm sure that it certainly takes a lot of courage to stand here on stage today. Let's give them a big round of applause. Our adjudicating panel may now leave for deliberation. While our adjudicators proceed out of the contest venue, let us all give our finalists and also our adjudicators another big round of applause for their effort and hard work. May we also invite our other audience members to remain seated for a little while. The on-site voting for the Audience Favorite Awards will be conducted now. Please pick the contestant that impressed you the most, and each person can only vote once for each division. Please scan the QR code for the voting. The voting period will start now and will be ending at 10:35. Please also note that collection of certificates will only be available after the ceremony has ended. For contest participants who want to collect their certificates, please proceed to the registration counter, which is located at the entrance. We will distribute the certificates according to alphabetical order of your surnames. In case you do not have the QR code, feel free to raise your hand and our staff will assist you. Please wait a short moment and our staff will quickly come to assist you. Is there anyone who still doesn't have the QR code? Please raise your hand. For other people, please feel free to make use of the bathrooms if needed. The award ceremony will commence in 10 minutes. Please start to get back to your seats. Once again, the award ceremony will commence in 10 minutes. There will be restrictions on entering and leaving the contest venue during the ceremony, so please make use of the washrooms to freshen up if you need to. If you need directions, please approach our staff. They will be more than happy to help you out. The award ceremony will start soon. Please be seated. Now that everyone has voted, it's time for some cool summer leadership program recommendations. Listen attentively if you're interested whether an elephant will be joining it. For those with leadership roles at or outside your school and want to challenge yourself by meeting and working with 199 senior high school student leaders from around 100 secondary schools, Hong Kong 200 Leadership Project might be your choice. Every year, 200 local youth leaders are selected to join the Hong Kong 200 program. More than 3,000 young leaders have been nurtured over the past decade. If you also believe that true leadership is about making positive social impact and serving the community, seize the chance to build your capacity and real-life exposure across different sectors by 3rd of May, Friday. If you, your students, or children want some intensive week-long summer schools to meet both local and non-local delegates and explore your development possibilities, don't miss out the HKFYG Leadership Institute's 3 upcoming summer schools. They are Summer School for Global Leadership, AI for Sustainability, Summer School for Young Diplomat, and Be the Next English News Anchor. Since I'm sure a lot of you here might be really talented public speakers or working on being a really good public speaker, be sure to join one of our programs. What I've just said might have slipped your mind. So here comes one simple step that you can take to make sure you don't miss out our early bird discounts and eye-opening programs. You can choose from A, subscribing to our newsletter. We know that you don't like being spammed, and that is why we only share useful and relevant opportunities and insights with you whenever available. B, following our social media accounts. As you've mentioned just now, that a lot of young people right now use social media accounts instead. So feel free to use social media to keep in touch with what's up. And C, both. So be sure that you check our website, our social media accounts to know what program is going to be up. And feel free to join us. I look forward to seeing you in our next program. Let us welcome once again our adjudicating panel. Please give them all a warm round of applause. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. This year is the 21st anniversary of the contest. And to all friends who might have missed it, I'm Annette, a grand finalist of this contest back in, oh, do I really have to say it, 2014. Some staff was kind enough to look up which year I was in, and probably kind enough to remind me that I'm still not too old to stand on the stage. It has really been an awesome journey since my competition. I then joined the HKFYG as an English ambassador, where I can polish my public speaking skills and also go to schools to teach public speaking. And 10 years later, I feel that I've grown a lot, and I look forward to all contestants, and I believe you all will grow a lot 10 years from now. And just because Ms. Hells asked a question just now, you said, well, in job interviews, people might be looking up your social media. I have a kind reminder to you all that 10 years later, your video of the contest will still be up on YouTube. And whether you like it or not, you'll have to accept it. But I know the senior division is okay with it, because they have the courage to be disliked, right? Yeah, just kidding. I'm sure everyone will be so amazed and pleased by your performances. Coming down to our highlighted tradition, may we now invite Ms. Siu Man Su, Executive Director of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, on stage to say a few remarks. Ms. Su, please.
Okay, let me put the mic. Distinguished adjudicators, question masters, finalists, and friends. First, welcome to the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups English Public Speaking Contest Grand Finals. It's my warmest congratulations to all grand finalists, district finalists, and all contestants who show up this year. It has been a long journey for you, and we are all very proud of your achievements. I strongly believe that public speaking, especially in English, is our bridge to the world, enabling us to make friends and also see the world anew. Today is the start of a lifelong journey of both public speaking and communicating in English. Today is also the start of the lifelong, this year's contest. We saw over 1,500 students from 190 schools take part. We are so happy that the school participation rate has been the highest in the past 21 years. Thank you to all those participate in all the early rounds. We're so grateful for your enthusiasm. Please come back again. And also, this contest would not be possible without the efforts and support of so many. I would like to extend my thanks to our co-organizer, the English Speaking Unions Hong Kong. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Leung. And also our 11 supporting organizations. I also want to thank all the adjudicators from the preliminary rounds to today's grand finals. I also know that there are many teachers and parents. Your encouragement, and of course, the volunteers and the 30 young English ambassadors. Thank you all. And all the contestants, you are the reason we are here. The Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, together with the HKFYG Leadership Institute, is committed to drive the development of Hong Kong students' communication skills, and we are humbled by the trust you are in us. Thank you. In a world where there is so much strife, let us use our voices for peace and good. So thank you again, everyone. Let us continue to nurture a vibrant community of elegant and empowered communicators. And congratulations once again to all our finalists and the contestants. The stage is set, the audience is waiting, and the world is ready to hear your voice. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tu. Please take a seat. Now let us invite Mrs. Margaret Leung, Chairman of English Speaking Union Hong Kong, to say a few words. Mrs. Leung, please.
It's a full room. Miss Chi, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy today because this venue brought me fond memories of successful events over the years. M21 has been a long-time partner with the NGOs I worked with. We did a microfilm competition in 2020 on Say No to Violence Against Women. And last summer, a video competition on Say No to Cyberbullying. It was held in this room with prize presentation to 15 students awardees. And it was a star-studded event with a judging panel of world-famous director Mabel Zhang, Winnie Zhang of Golden Sea, the distributor of Universal Premiere Films, and also Arif Lee Ti Ching, the leading star in some successful films, and a teenage idol. More importantly, I can meet with you, a new group of 10 talented finalists in public speaking. All of you have spoken on topics with happy. And this year's titles are the best way to make children good is to make them happy, and then the courage to be happy also includes the courage to be disliked. I must say you have many interesting ideas and arguments, and it would be nice to get them into practice and make Hong Kong a happy city. According to the briefing of HKFYG, you are the top 0.65% of 1,530 participants from 190 schools, which you just said, meaning you are the crème de la crème, and it's not easy to be here today. This year's title for both divisions reflect the sincere wish of the organizers to have happy students in Hong Kong. It was said, Ms. Shi just mentioned, Hong Kong ranking dropped 4 places from 77th to 86th between year 2021 to 24 out of 144 countries. And it's worse for the 30-year-olds, below 30-year-olds. That means people like you here. Hong Kong ranked 97 out of 143 countries, with Lithuania at the top, meaning youngsters in Hong Kong are not as happy as their parents or elders. So let's look at how this ranking come about. The World Happiness Report is a partner between its editorial board, the Polestar Gallup, the Oxford Wellbeing Research Center, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. Based on a Gallup poll, the survey asked around 1,000 people in each country to evaluate the current life using the image of a ladder. The best possible life ranking is 10, and the worst is 0. Countries are ranked based on the various factors determine their overall happiness. These factors include GDP per capita, social support, healthy life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, and perception of corruption. As you all know, Hong Kong measures very well according to these criteria. So, why are our children not as happy as others? Maybe all of you can help me to find out by voicing your concerns. The International Day of Happiness emphasized the need for a more holistic and balanced approach to economic growth. So it's just not money that we need psychological well-being and general well-being for our health. So they have set up a theme every year, and this year, 2024, the theme evolves around happiness for all ages, meaning the young, the middle-aged, and the elderly. So everybody has to be happy because they reflect and interact with each other. So why is happiness important? Because when the society is healthy, when the societies are happy, it'll be healthier, more productive, and more peaceful. And governments has a big part to play. And they should maintain peace, we said, social order, and delivery of public services. So it's really easier said than done. You can see so many firearms and wars starting everywhere in the world. So what can we do? We have to start what we can do ourselves, right? So I suggest 7 ways to make ourselves happy. So one is be positive. Think of uplifting thoughts, people, and positive experience. And also spend time, secondly, spend time in nature. Go walk around the park and enjoy a hike. And also, number 3, create a list of what you like best, like your activities, your memories, your photos, or look up past records on IG or Facebook and make yourself laugh a bit and share it with your friends. Number 4, perform acts of kindness. Maybe we should open the door for somebody behind and let the person behind you queuing up for a supermarket to go first because they only got a drink of Coca-Cola and you got the whole trolley. Or on the dining table, pass the butter or the milk or the oyster sauce without being asked. And number 5, host happy events like happy hour, afternoon tea, or a dinner for your friends and family, and share the food, share stories, and have little jokes. And also have new happiness tools like listening to music you like, pop music or classical music, whatever you like. Try meditation, yoga, and learn how to play chess, and maybe learn how to cook, how to do a cooking and brew a nice cup of tea. And also focus on gratitude, be thankful for what you have, and appreciate life. So remember, happiness is contagious. By celebrating the International Day of Happiness, you contribute to a happier world, one where kindness, positiveness, and well-being thrives. So let us be happy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Leung. Thank you so much for sharing with us the importance of happiness in society as well as ways to get happiness. Please take a seat. I'm sure that you all are very excited to know the results of the contest because I already know them, but I won't tell you now, for it is time for us to listen to the comments. So before announcing the results, let's have our head adjudicator, Mr. C.M. Chan, President of the Law Society of Hong Kong, to share some words that our adjudicating panel have for our finalists today. Mr. Chan, please.
So this is my 3 minutes. Well, they did actually prepare a speech for me. I'm not going to read that out. So first of all, this is my honor to be here, to be a judge of this very prestigious competition, which is in its 21st edition. I think I mentioned to some of the fellow judges that this is my 5th time to be a judge of the final round, the grand final. And it kept amazing me with the standard and your abilities. Without giving you a speech, but I'm going to review some of the discussions inside the black box, the judges. So we had a very heated discussion. That's why it took so long for us to come out. And this is actually one of the most dramatic judging panel I've ever been to. We always said that public speaking is important, especially English public speaking. You know, sometimes we call it the art of persuasion. So we say something to persuade you, to convey a message so that you agree with me. And that was demonstrated within our judging panels. We made our decision, and one of the judges actually stood up and said that I disagree with the majority decision. And she managed, oh, I shouldn't say she, but anyway, one of them successfully changed our minds. So that's how it was so dramatic inside the judging panel. But a few words of advice. It's difficult, number one. So give yourself a round of applause. Silman mentioned that we have more than 1,500 participants, and you are really the top of the top 5%, 6%. So really, really impressive, and it's difficult. Why? You're standing there with a mic stand with you without a podium. A podium actually helps a lot. You can hide your speech, you can do a lot of things underneath, but no, you're exposed to it. And the MC said, nowadays, with the social media, your speeches will be there forever. So am I, actually, my speech will be there forever as well. But so it's difficult. But more difficult is the Q&A part, to me, the question master. Andrea, she did not leave you alone. You know, those questions are difficult and not related to your speech. So it's expected to be stuttering. You need time to think. You need time to organize. That's so difficult, but that's something that you will learn as you progress. So I know that I'm standing between the results, so I'm not going to keep you long. Final words to you, final words. Believe in yourself. You are making a positive impact to the society. You are igniting changes. You are disturbing the status quo. So more importantly, I hope you utilize your skills to make a better Hong Kong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chan, for your 3-minute speech. Our question master will have a question for you. Just kidding. Please take a seat. This year, we would like to specially recognize and honor those who have made it to the district finals. May we invite Mr. William Chung, Deputy Executive Director, the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups on stage to present the certificates to the district finalists. Mr. Chung, please. For the junior division, we have Chung Ching Kit, Lai Hin Yan Lian, Wong Yat Sum Ingrid, Poon Hang Yao Suri, Krista Chan, Pan Hei Yin Haley, Chan Hong Yao, Chan Chuk Yo, Manor Ahmed, Poon Chi Young Anson, Lam Yun Yu Ella, Wang Yat Yi, Li Zi Yu, Tang Wing Sum. May we invite Mr. Chung to join in for a group photo. Thank you so much. Please be seated. Mr. Chung, please remain on stage. And then we will go on for the senior division. For the senior division, we have Wet Truck Lamb. Cheng Ho Ching Amelia. Cheng Sam Yut. Wang Chong Yin. Cedric Yip. Yan Man Chong Anthony. Sito Ching Lam Jasmine. Wong Hei Ching. Ho Ngo Ching Chloe. Cheng Yi Wing. Again, let's have Mr. Chung in the middle while we take a big group photo. Congratulations! May everyone please take a seat. One more thing before the results. For the sake of more suspense, we will have the Audience Favorite Awards, for our two gleaming audience favorites have emerged. Without further ado, may we invite Ms. Emily Zhang, editor, Young Post, South China Morning Post, and Ms. Andrea Hells, director, English, British Council, Hong Kong, on stage to present these awards. Ms. Zhang and Ms. Hells, please. For the junior division, the Audience Favorite Award goes to... Suspense.
Ting Wong. Yeah. Ting.
Ting.
Ting Wong.
Big smiles. Congratulations. May Ms. Tung and Ms. Hells please remain on stage. And now for the senior division. Any names? Any person that you support? Shout out their names. And
okay, are we ready? And the winner is Benjamin Calvin Wu.
Congratulations, Benjamin. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Ms. Song and Ms. Hells. Please be seated. So finally, we will now be presenting awards to our finalists. First, let us start with the results of the junior division. There will be 2 merit awards, 1 second runner-up and 1 first runner-up and a champion. Let us first start with the merit awards. May we invite Dr. Zhou Lai, Director, English Language Teaching Unit, the Chinese University of Hong Kong, to present the merit award. Dr. Lai, please. The first merit award goes to...
Jiang Yankee, Claudia.
Claudia, congratulations. Congratulations. And then now we will announce the second merit award.
Mok Kai Ting.
Mok Kai Ting. Congratulations. Thank you. Please be seated. Next, we will present the top 3 award. As mentioned, that was a tough decision, but the results are out already. Let us now invite Ms. Xiu Man Xu, Executive Director of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, and Mrs. Margaret Leung, Chairperson, the English-Speaking Union Hong Kong, to present these prizes. Ms. Xu and Mrs. Leung, please.
Right. Junior second runner-up goes to, any guess? Her name? I think it's, no, it's a man. Her name got, it got a M-A-N in it, in the middle. And so I just wonder whether it's a boy or a girl. It's Lam Man Chun.
Ms. Lam, congratulations. I still remember that she made a really good speech with peekaboo, a really good opening for the day. Congratulations, Ms. Lam. Ms. Xu and Mrs. Leung, please remain on stage. Now we are going to announce the first runner-up of this year's contest.
Wow, the second runner-up. Oh, it also starts with a L as a surname and M in the middle name. Guess? Lee Mok Yi.
Congratulations, Mr. Lee. The title of his speech is The Gift of Struggle, a Blessing in Disguise. I guess all that struggle to come here today was actually a really big blessing for you then. This means we already know the champion, and perhaps we can invite Mrs. Leung to continue to announce the champion, although we already know who it is.
Wow. You know who it is because only 5 competitors. Junior champion goes to 2 T's, Ting Zi Wan.
Congratulations. Let us take a group photo with all the winners. Let us take a group photo with all the winners of the junior division together with Ms. Xu and Mrs. Leung. Perhaps we can invite our adjudicators to stand. Oh, okay, on the side. And then thank you very much, Ms. Xu and Mrs. Leung, and our winners. Please take a seat. Our champion, please remain on stage. Our champion. I know you're very happy, but you still have a speech to make. Please give a short acceptance speech. If you don't know what to say, then just promote HKFYG. That's usually what I do.
In honor of my height, I'll keep this short. This is my first public speaking competition. I didn't expect to get this far. In my speech, I already thanked my parents. I want to thank my teachers and my colleagues and my peers. And also, like HKFYG on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Now we will be giving out awards for the senior division. We will also start with the merit awards. Let us now invite Ms. Jennifer Ma, council member of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, to present the prizes to our finalists. Ms. Ma, please. So, let's start with the merit award.
Warren Yim Wylon.
Warren, congratulations. Please join us on stage for a photo. Thank you. Ms. Ma, please remain on stage, and we will announce the second merit award.
Christine Chow Hoi Cheng.
Christine, congratulations, Christine. Please join us on stage. Thank you. Ms. Ma, please be seated. And now let us invite Ms. Xiu Man Xu, Executive Director of the Hong Kong Federation of Youth Groups, and Mr. CM Chan, President of the Law Society Hong Kong, to present the prizes. Ms. Xu and Mr. Chan, please. The second runner-up now.
The second runner-up of the senior division goes to Mirab Malik.
Congratulations, Mirab. A lot of people cheering for you. That means despite having a title, having enemies is good. I can see you have a lot of friends here. Thank you. Ms. Xu and Mr. Chan, please remain on stage while we announce the first runner-up of the contest.
The second, sorry, this is first, right? The first runner-up, sorry, I'm nervous. The first runner-up of the senior division goes to Tam Kai Chun.
Mr. Tam, congratulations. Please join us on stage. He said that he lost weight because of the competition. I guess he'll look really good on the photo at least. Congratulations. And so I guess we all know who the champion is. May Mr. Chan announce it?
So obviously, the champion goes to Benjamin Wu.
Congratulations, Benjamin. The title of his speech was Choosing Happiness and How to Find the Courage to Do It. And let's have a group photo of all winners of the senior division together with Ms. Xu and Mr. Chan. May all senior division finalists please join us on stage. Thank you very much. Our champion, please remain on stage while our guests and other finalists can take a seat.
Usually this speech is better than his prepared speech.
Well, I haven't prepared this one, so First of all, I'd like to thank the Academy. No, the Institute, right? And I'll just keep it simple. I'd like to thank all the people that couldn't be here, and also all the people that are here. You know, I'm just gonna list off the names of everyone sitting there. But firstly, Manar, Avi, Callum. I'm skipping Miss Cho for later. Garrett. Hi. Evan. My mom, of course. And yes, Chloe, who couldn't be here, and Miss Cho. Thank you all. You made this possible.
Thank you very much. Let us now invite the adjudicating panel of the grand finals and all winners on stage for a group photo. Please join us on stage for a big group photo. I'm sure all of you have enjoyed a lot from our finalist speech today. May our adjudicators please take a seat. While all winners can join us on stage for a group photo. Make sure you look at our photographer. Take one step to your right. And one more step to your right. Look at our photographer's camera first. I know that all your parents may be very excited to take photos for you, but look at our photographer first. Say something fun. Yay! Okay, one more. This was the rehearsal, apparently. Thank you so much. And then now we will have another big group photo from the stage with everyone in it. So may we invite our guests and winners to take a seat first? And make sure to utilize all the space in the middle, so perhaps our audience will have to squeeze in a little as well. Again, don't be shy. Squeeze in a little. I won't bite. Come on, come on. Okay, the audience on the left as well, squeeze in a little. As well as the winners. Maybe you can take the middle row so that everyone can see you. Perhaps our winners can stand next to our adjudicators on the both sides. Perhaps the audience on the left can squeeze in a little as well. There's still more space on the back row. May the audience on the left please squeeze in a little for the group photo. You can also make use of the space at the corridor and the stairs. Okay, move in a little, move in a little. Make sure that you can see our photographer. But perhaps some of you can also move on the right side. So look at our photographer, make sure you can see him for the photo. Raise your cardboards. We'll look at our cameraman over there and wave your trophies perhaps, or wave your cardboards. Just do something creative. Thank you so much. Thank you for being such an amazing audience. Please take a seat. For the audience who are standing, please take a seat. For the audience watching on Facebook and YouTube, thank you so much for your time today to support the HKFYG English Public Speaking Contest 2024, and we look forward to serving you in the soon future. A big round